Hey, good to see you. My name's Elliot. Welcome to Revamped Outdoors. This video is brought to you by dog hair, dandruff, and an unbearable, soul-crushing need for social acceptance. Hey, welcome back. Filming in the living room because the lighting is exceptional and I really like unflattering camera angles. Alexa, turn on the fireplace. These are flashers, also known as sonar kits, units, graphs, fish finders, if you will. They use a transducer. This is a transducer. It pings out a high frequency. You can think of these kind of like a dolphin. They're a battery-powered dolphin. If you know anything about dolphins, they use echolocation. They ping something out. They got a little sensor in their nozzles. Their nose is there. When it comes back, they can tell distance of different objects using that. Same basic principle here. You turn it on, it ticks. I don't think you're going to be able to hear it, but you can probably see it. And I doubt I adjusted the shutter speed or anything on the camera, being as it's a cell phone. You probably won't be able to see any of that. But that's okay. I can tell you. You might be able to hear that. Yeah, hear that a little bit? That's echolocation. That's actually sonar. Same principle. You get the idea. Not a science channel. What do you think this is, Vsauce? You know, you can tell I know a lot about this stuff. A little spinny thingamajig in there. It lights up on a panel, and then when those returns come back, the panel will show you where the return is. So you can see fish line up with a little mark. It helps you orientate not only depth that you're fishing, but also you can see your jig and the fish's response to that. Good units. They all come with covers from Marcum. This is the standard red Marcum cover. Very nice, very nice, very nice and red. You can see it out on the ice, which is nice, so you don't leave it out there. This one is naked, has no cover, but this is just the framework that they use. Some folks will run it without a cover. I prefer the cover just to keep it there, nice and, nice and covered up. But when you're walking around on the ice, a lot of the times you're carrying this, a bucket, and a growling dog. So a lot of times out on the ice, if you're mobile at all, you're carrying this and a bucket and your fishing rods, and it becomes a little bit of an issue. So I think today what we're going to do is design up a rod holder for the top of this Marcum that we can put over the cover and we can bolt on to it, aftermarket style, right? Put a sweet exhaust on it. I mean, I guess I already had designed it, but we'll go up. I'll show you what I did. Alexa, turn off the fireplace. Hey, welcome to the office. If you're unfamiliar with the office, it's just a modified wife's makeup room with a computer in it. But we try our best here. We try hard. Here's the unit we were talking about earlier. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. The skeleton version here, without the cover on, you can see there's a small lip on the top of the handle. So let's go into Fusion 360 real quick. So we're going to use this little channel here as a way to kind of get up under that lip. And it seems to work out pretty well. And then because I wanted this to be able to be used with a cover or without the cover, the distance on the top when the cover is on is going to be extra because you have that distance of the fabric for the cover. So what I did is I just made a spacer here. Instead of having that lip come up on the back side, it's just a small spacer. And then that top portion comes over and you end up sandwiching in that part of the skeleton there. I'll change the appearance of this so it makes it a little bit more sense. Okay, so I just changed the color there on the appearance and you can see that's kind of what I was going for here. You sandwich in that top portion and then the bolts go through here, and recessed nuts in the back, so it sandwiches it on there tight. Seems to work pretty well. So for the design, all this is an extruded out profile. So very simple designs, very easily done. I've put in these recesses for your fingers, so when you grip around the backside, you kind of feel that edge, helps it grip a little bit easier, because this lip actually goes into the backside. Seems to work pretty well. Very simple model, very simple print, and all I did for printing it was this bottom section is 100% infill, just for strength, and then the spacer can be 10% or whatever with 3 perimeters, and then this large section here that comprises the actual rod holders, that's 10% with three perimeters on that. It seems to work pretty well. I'll show you what it looks like actually on a unit. So this is it on an actual Marcum. Might be able to see it just comes around the front just enough to where you can see it. Then on the back side, you can see kind of how it's sandwiching in there, and it allows you to grab it real easily and tote it around. So pretty happy with how that works. I've tried it with a couple rods in it, and you can actually grip it like this so you don't have the rods getting in the way. The assembly of it's very, very easy. You just put the 100% infill piece under the top, slide it in, and then put the bolts down through. Make sure that the nuts are actually recessed into the 100% infill. Works out just fine. I don't do a whole lot of walking around when I'm ice fishing. Just for the most part is I don't like the cold, and I really don't like walking. But either way, sometimes you got to walk around to find the fish, because they're not as active in the winter and you don't have a boat to go find them. So this kind of eases the burden of that a little bit. It lets you bring more rods when you're walking around, and lets you carry a bucket so you can sit down when you finally get somewhere to fish. So for the most part, it works pretty well, I think. I used M3 by 25 millimeters bolts for this design. You can use either a socket head or a button head. It's recessed in there to fit either of those heads. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe give it a like. Possibly consider subscribing. We're growing a great community here. I always like to hear everybody's input. So put a comment down below. And hope you're having a great day, week, month, year, life. And I'll see you in the next video, whenever that happens. Not sure when. I might actually do a fishing video at some point. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Keep your amps up and your filament dry.
It might seem bold, headless and careless, not to me, baby. Heading out in the cold with no direction clear.